Making headlines. The President and First Lady arrives at Mumbai as part of their state visit to India. Maldives and India hold comprehensive talks aiming to elevate the existing levels of cooperation between the two countries. And the Foreign Minister states that the President's ongoing visit to India is a success, noting that it will benefit the Maldives' socio-economic development.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafizat Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz and First Lady Sajida Mohammed has arrived at Mumbai as part of their ongoing state visit to India. Upon their arrival, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport showered them with warm welcomes. President Dr. Muiz arrived at Mumbai to participate in some trade events set to take place in the city. Several well-renowned businesses and investment companies will also partake in the event. Additionally, it will be attended by some celebrities from India. During this visit, he is scheduled to address the attendees. In the tourism activities held in Mumbai, President Dr. Muiz will be accompanied by the Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal and the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Muhammad Amin. The President is also expected to meet with the governors of Maharashtra. Following his time in Mumbai, President Dr. Muiz is scheduled to travel to Bangalore on October 9th, where additional trade and business events will take place. The President will also engage with residents of Bangalore during this visit. Maldives and India have held comprehensive talks aiming to elevate the existing levels of cooperation between the two countries. The discussions were held between President Dr. Mohammad Muiz and the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, at Rashtrapati Bhavan. During the meeting, President Murmu described the Maldives as a key partner of India. She emphasized that the Maldives is an important member in India's neighborhood first policy and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security and growth for all in the region Sagar vision, highlighting that the Greater Male Connectivity Project GMCP is the largest infrastructure project to date undertaken in the Maldives by India. She noted that the development support to the Maldives is designed to benefit the people of the Maldives. The President of India further expressed confidence that the newly agreed upon comprehensive security and maritime partnership will bring about a renewed framework to forge a closer bilateral cooperation and reaffirmed India's commitment to continue supporting the Maldives in its development endeavors. Speaking at the meeting, President Dr. Muiz expressed his gratitude to President Murmu for inviting him to undertake the state visit to India. The President conveyed assurances of reciprocal commitment to work together with the Government of India to further consolidate the long-standing relations between the two nations. He also highlighted India's role as a crucial development partner in various areas of significant importance to the Maldives, specifically mentioning education, infrastructure development, tourism and healthcare. The two presidents agreed to continue the conversation held during the state visit around these areas and find ways to further elevate existing levels of cooperation in the future. Following this, President Dr. Muiz signed the visitors' book at the official residence of the President of India, Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has lauded India for consistently proving to be a steadfast ally to the Maldives. He made the statement in his address at the official banquet hosted by President of the Republic of India, Draupadi Murmu. The banquet was held as part of President Dr. Muiz's state visit to India. In his address, President Dr. Muiz reflected on the shared values, history and cultural exchanges that had shaped the enduring partnership between the Maldives and India over the years, regardless of the differences between the two countries in terms of the landmass of the two countries, population and other geographical structures. The President added the diplomatic relations between the Maldives and India in its sixth decade, is poised to flourish to even greater heights. Furthermore, President Dr. Muiz stated that India has proven to be a steadfast ally to the Maldives, noting that this can be seen through the agreements related to both countries collaborating to enhance trade, health, education and the technological sector. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has expressed his sincere appreciation to India for its warm welcome and generous hospitality. The President is currently undertaking a state visit to India at the invitation of India's President Draupadi Murmu. In a social media post, President Dr. Muiz thanked India's President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the warm welcome given to him, the First Lady and the Maldivian delegation upon arrival. He also expressed gratitude for the generous hospitality as well. During his ongoing visit, President Dr. Muiz stated that the discussions with India's President and Prime Minister were highly productive. The President revealed the Maldives' commitment to implement the vision for a comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership. And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Stay tuned.
Mammati asli mage dammartiye aliko ding mage
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
मगुमचे सवाल को नुदुनु एमएफ हों तिजहुनी मुळिमून का बेंडेज वालाकन एक्सीडेंट तहुगा नुवदिया इंसे तमी हम मारवनी बोले लिबियानी एक्सो साइकिल दुबार हेलमेट वाला
एइरेग्गा दुनियेगा नजर हुट्टिफावा पोडेति मसलता
Cero votos en contra.
ए मसल तहुगे एम्मे फहुगा तफसीर एम्मे फुना दिरासा कुरुवा पहुं
ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಖಳಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ದುವಹಕು ಸೋಳಗಡಿ ತಿರಿಹುಗ PSM ನ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್
Welcome back to PSM News in English, and now we'll continue with the news. Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar has stated that the long-standing historic relations between the Maldives and India will ensure a wide range of mutual benefits to the residents of both countries. The remarks were made by the Vice President of India when he paid a courtesy call on President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. Speaking at the meeting, President Dr. Muiz stated that next year marks 60 years of formal diplomatic ties between the Maldives and India, highlighting the centuries-old history of trade and friendship between the two countries. The President expressed his gratitude for India's prompt support to the Maldives in challenging times, which he said signals the trust and understanding between the Maldives and India. Meanwhile, India's Vice President spoke about the fundamental role of people-to-people contact for fostering closer relations between the two countries, noting the historical links that remain strong to this day, bringing together Maldivians and Indians in a wide range of mutual beneficial areas. The discussions between both leaders then focused on cooperating across all levels of both governments to keep the momentum going in light of the positive engagements during the state visit. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil has stated that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's ongoing state visit to India is a success, noting that it will benefit the Maldives' socio-economic development. In an interview with PSMNEWS, Minister Dr. Khalil stated that this marks the first time a Maldivian president was showered with such warm welcomes from India. The minister added that this was the result of President Dr. Muiz's efforts in the international platform, with the priority of strengthening bilateral relations with various countries. He further stated that the trip will result in multiple benefits for the Maldives. Furthermore, Minister Dr. Khalil stated that the currency swap agreement signed between the Maldives and India will facilitate trade activities to take place more conveniently. President Dr. Muiz also revealed that the agreement aims to address the foreign exchange challenges faced by the Maldives. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed has announced plans to hold a conference aimed at improving and enhancing the services offered to the pilgrims performing Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage. In a social media post, Minister Dr. Shahim revealed that the first Hajj and Umrah conference will take place on October 31st. The minister stated that the conference will target groups and organizations offering pilgrimage services. He added that this initiative aims to improve the arrangements made for Maldivians performing Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage. Currently, groups of pilgrims are departing for Hajj through the Maldives Hajj Corporation Limited. Additionally, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs has granted permits to 56 organizations to provide services for Umrah pilgrims. While the Islamic Ministry has announced plans to hold the conference to improve Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage services, it has previously held conferences aimed at improving the roles of imams and religious scholars. These initiatives are part of a broader efforts to enhance activities within the religious field of the Maldives. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Saeed has stated that President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's state visit to India marks the start of a new chapter of the Maldives-India trade. The remarks were made by the minister during the India-Maldives Business Forum held in New Delhi, India.
In his address, Minister Saeed shed light on the economic and trade relations between the Maldives and India. Highlighting the strong relations in this field, the minister expressed confidence that the bilateral ties will continue to strengthen moving forward. During the forum, Minister Saeed emphasized the government's efforts to diversify the Maldivian economy. He noted that the outcomes of initiatives undertaken over the past 10 months are now evident, aligning with President Dr. Muiz's vision of transforming the Maldives into a developed nation. He stated that the president's primary focus is on advancing the Maldives towards a digital economy, expanding the financial sector, and developing new revenue-generating industries. As such, he stated that the government has introduced the maritime sector to the Maldives and is continuing to expand it. Furthermore, Minister Saeed affirmed that the Maldives offers a secure environment for investment, providing information on the recent legislative changes to ensure the security of investors. The minister stated that the 45-year-old legislation related to foreign investment was now amended to fit to modern standards. He added that the changes being brought to the financial system will also ensure the security of intellectual property. The minister expressed optimism about achieving positive economic changes through collaboration between the two countries.
Minister of Social and Family Development Dr. Aishat Shiham has emphasized the importance of data pertaining to gender equality when drafting policies. The remarks were made by the minister in the ceremony held to launch a report which consists of information related to gender equality. The Gender Data Use Report was officiated by Vice President's spouse Aishat Afrin. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Aishat Shiham stated that 2006 marks the first year in which demographic statistics were collected, including data related to genders. She noted that the Maldives experienced several progresses in the collection of data afterwards. In her address, the minister stated that the drafting of the report took over 5 years. The minister reaffirmed the Ministry of Social and Family Development's commitment to support in further improving the development and well-being of the society. She underscored the crucial importance of utilizing data related to gender equality when drafting developmental policies. She stated that the report was very important in ensuring that no individual is left behind and building an inclusive society. In addition to the Gender Data Use Report, a strategic plan named Validation of the National Strategy for the Development of Gender Statistics was inaugurated during this ceremony. The plan was officiated by Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development, Dr. Ali Haidar. The plan aims to further enhance data collection, particularly data related to gender equality. Minister of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts Ibrahim Wahid has stated that the digital archive will be developed with the assistance of modern technology. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to launch the prototype of the Digital Archive project, aligning with the pledge of President Dr. Mohamed Moez.
The Digital Archive aims to preserve information related to the Maldives, encompassing the history, culture, heritage and details about significant ongoing projects of the Maldives. This initiative of President Dr. Moez seeks to ensure that this information is securely passed down through generations. The archive will be developed in collaboration with a Brazilian company and experts from the United Kingdom. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Ibrahim Wahid emphasized that this initiative represents the launch of a system designed to sustainably safeguard information about the Maldives using the latest resources. The minister clarified that this project is not merely a basic website detailing the history of the Maldives, but part of a broader effort to present the Maldives on a global scale. He highlighted that establishing the digital archive is a crucial step as the Maldives progresses towards becoming a digital economy, and it will play a vital role in ensuring the country's sustainable development. Furthermore, Minister Ibrahim Wahid noted that the system will be designed to provide the public with a wide range of information. The minister assured that the methods of securing information will undergo significant improvements with the development of this system. He disclosed that this initiative will be undertaken with the assistance provided by the Ministry of Finance.
The Ministry of Tourism has revealed that the Maldives has welcomed over 1.5 million tourists, with the number of tourists visiting from Germany increasing.
The latest tourism update report released by the Tourism Ministry indicated that a total of 1,522,621 tourists visited the Maldives as of October 6th. This is a significant increase of 9.5% compared to the 1,390,307 tourist arrival within the same period last year. The statistics indicate that China continues to be the top market source of tourism with 227,978 tourist arrivals. Following China, the leading source markets include Russia with 166,172 visitors, 128,262 arrivals from the United Kingdom, 110,574 from Germany, and 107,799 from Italy. On average, 5,100 tourists arrive to the Maldives daily. This steady influx has encouraged the government to set an ambitious target of attracting 2 million tourists by the end of the year. To achieve this goal, the Maldives now has to welcome 477,379 tourists. The government has been exerting several efforts to increase the tourist arrivals. As such, it has been actively collaborating with parties involved in the tourism industry to showcase the Maldives in international platforms.
U.S. stock indices closed lower on Monday while Treasury yields rose as traders attempt down bets for Federal Reserve interest rate easing and worried about the Middle East conflict's impact on oil prices.
While waiting for quarterly earnings season and fresh economic data, investors also braced for another big hurricane, Milton, which is expected to hit the United States this week. After Friday's stronger-than-expected jobs report, traders pulled back from bets for a 50 basis point rate cut in November. They were pricing in an 86% chance of a 25 basis point cut and a roughly 14% chance the central bank would not cut rates at all. The change in rate cut expectations caused U.S. Treasury yields to rally, with the yield on benchmark 10-year notes exceeding 4% for the first time in 2 months. Besides next month's Fed meeting, investors are waiting for the Consumer Price Index inflation reading for September and the kickoff of third quarter earnings season, with reports from banks both due this week.
Coming off of last week, which was actually a flat week for the markets, but we had a lot of rotation underneath the hood. Energy was up almost 6%. Small caps are down. But more importantly, dollar rates and oil rallied last week, which is typically not a good thing for markets. So we're kind of in a wait and see mode with a lot of economic data coming out this week. CPI is coming, earnings season starts, Fed speakers are coming out and talking every day. So it's going to be a big week for the markets. And I think we're just digesting it today, waiting for all this events to happen.
Investors continue to fret about how Israel would respond to Iran's missile strikes. On Monday, Lebanon's armed group Hezbollah fired rockets at Israel's city of Haifa, while Israeli forces looked poised to expand ground raids into South Lebanon. According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 lost 54.90 points or 0.95% to end at 5,696.17 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 213.94 points or 1.18% to 17,924.49. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 398.71 points or 0.95% to 41,951.31. A big drag on the S&P came from Amazon.com after a Wells Fargo downgrade. Amazon's decline also pressured the consumer discretionary sector.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warns any attacks by Israel will result in a more powerful response.
Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi warned Israel against launching an attack, saying on Tuesday that any strike on Iranian infrastructure would be met with a stronger retaliation. Iran attacked Israel last week with a salvo of missiles, and Israel has vowed to retaliate. Iran's foreign minister stated that Iran recommends the Zionist regime, Israel, not to test the resolution of the Islamic Republic, adding that if any attack against Iran takes place, the response will be more powerful. He stated that any attack on Iran's infrastructure will be met with a stronger retaliation, adding that the enemies know what kind of targets inside the Zionist regime, Israel, are in the reach. The foreign minister revealed that the first and second operation of Sadeg's promise demonstrated the commendable determination and authority of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, so everyone knows that any strategic mistake by the enemy will be met with a far more severe response. Iran's oil minister landed on Khag Island, home to the country's main export terminal, and held talks with the naval commander on Sunday. The oil ministry's news website, Shana, reported amid concern Israel could attack energy facilities. US President Joe Biden said on Friday that he did not think Israel had yet decided how to respond.
Brazil hit the training pitch as they gear up for 2 World Cup qualifying matches against Chile and Peru.
Brazil manager Dorival Jr. was joined by 19 members of the squad at the Palmeiras Football Academy in Sao Paulo ahead of their match against Chile at National Stadium in Santiago. Brazil forward Vinicius Jr. will miss both qualifiers due to a neck injury, the Brazilian FA said. Fulham midfielder Andreas Pereira has been called up to replace him. Vinicius' injury adds to the woes of coach Dorival Jr. as Brazil, 5th in CONMEBOL's World Cup qualifying standings with 10 points after 8 matches, faces Chile before hosting Peru in Brasilia 5 days later. The top 6 of the 10 teams qualify directly for the World Cup.
From Yoda's can to Clint Eastwood's duster coat in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, hundreds of items will go under the hammer next month in a sale of movie and television memorabilia.
Entertainment memorabilia auctioneer Prop Store is selling more than 1,800 items at its annual live auction, which this year runs from November 14th to 17th and which it estimates could fetch more than £10 million, $13.1 million. Items worn or used by some of Hollywood's biggest names are up for grabs, with plenty of lots from some cinema's biggest franchises, including the James Bond and Harry Potter films. Leading the sales is a Sand Trooper helmet from the move-along scene in Star Wars: A New Hope, which has a price estimate of £250,000 to £500,000, $326,900 to $654,000.
In the world of stormtroopers, there were only about 30 complete stormtrooper costumes made for the original Star Wars film. From that, you can distill it down to sand troopers, and this is actually a sand trooper helmet, and there are only half a dozen of those made, and so it's an incredibly rare artifact as well.
Prop Store said that the Yoda can being sold was used in both The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. An array of costumes are being sold, including Michael Keaton's Batsuit from Batman Returns, a suit worn by Daniel Craig in Bond film Skyfall, and the 2015 resizing jacket Michael J. Fox's character Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future Part 2. Eastwood's duster coat from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is also among the lots.
I think one of the most exciting costume pieces we have has come into us from a costume house in Italy. It's never before been offered at market. It was in fact discovered after Prop Store went to visit them, hunting for some of these artefacts. And it's Clint Eastwood's duster from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Now the duster is a synonymous attire for most Western films. This is deemed to be one of the best Western films perhaps of all times, and Clint Eastwood costume pieces from those films virtually never ever turn up, so we're super excited to have that.
Other highlights include Russell Crowe's Maximus Arena helmet and mask from Gladiator, the ghost face mask worn by Harry Winkler as Principal Arthur Himbree in Scream, and a dress worn by Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम दुनिया कಳಿಗೆ ಮುಳಿಂಗ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಟಿವಿ ಬಲ್ಲೋ ಮುಂಗದಿ ಹಾಮಿಯಾಕಿಗ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ngado sumugenda wa huri hafarat ka marhaba danama ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಕಿಗ ತಿಬೆಫ್ನಾ ಮಿ ಬದಲ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲಿ